Turning now to Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Josh Colberth talking about some of those travel concerns. Have we seen any impacts, whether it's roadways or local airports, from the storm system that we've seen not only here in our region but throughout the state and really up in the Pacific Northwest?
Yes, so up in the Cascades, those roadways are still looking pretty rough on Willamette Pass and at Diamond Lake Junction. Not seeing as big an impacts in some of our lower elevations, but we still are seeing snow right around 4,000 feet this morning over in Klamath counties, and I think most of this at this point has worked into Lake County and into Modoc County. So I'll show you what all this does a little bit later in the day, and look what approaches from the south. This is actually the core of the storm system, also known as the surface low. And you can see that big kind of a circular pattern of some of those brighter colors, those yellows and then those darker blues that are associated with some heavier snowfall. So that will approach from the south, and then the core of the storm system will spin over to the east side. And so come time for midnight, there's still quite a bit of snow, and some of it could be some heavy burst of snow as well. And that has a really tough time getting out of here for Friday morning. That surface low and some of those snow showers just kind of linger on the east side, but then it'll quickly get out of here a little bit later in the day. We will see some pop-up showers a little bit later in the day on Friday, but definitely not the coverage that we're going to see for today. And I don't want us to get too caught up into these specific values. I typically say that a lot on this graphic, but for good reason. I think this model is being super aggressive with some of these rainfall totals. But I think it illustrates a pretty good point in that wherever the core of the storm system goes, that's where we'll see the most precipitation. So that model run has the core of the storm going through eastern Siskiyou County and over on the east side. So that's where we are expecting maybe some locally heavier precipitation values. You can see that snow levels are going to be anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 feet primarily throughout the day into Friday. And so snowfall totals aren't really going to be all that impressive through Friday. In fact, we'd be lucky to get more than 2 or 3 inches up towards Diamond Lake and Crater Lake. There are going to be some pretty negligible impacts on US 97 and for Interstate 5 in Siskiyou County and in Jackson County. So travel already starting to improve because we're not getting nearly as much snowfall as we did at the beginning of this week. And you can see that travel conditions are really going to improve as we get into Saturday and Sunday because we'll just have drier weather and we'll have warmer weather. So for today, again, we'll still have widespread rain and snow, but not nearly as widespread, I should say, as what we observed for yesterday. Winds definitely more relaxed compared to yesterday. And then for tonight, most of the impacts that linger will be in our inland areas. I think we do start to dry out along the coast, and then all of us will dry out into Saturday and Sunday. Thankfully, we do have some not only drier weather, but warmer weather as we get into the weekend. You can see the west side valleys could potentially hit 70 degrees as soon as Sunday. Here is your 7-day forecast along the coast. Wet and windy today, not nearly as much for Friday, and then some much better weather for Saturday and Sunday. We'll also see the sunshine, and we'll even see some temperatures in the 60s and 70s for Siskiyou County. Big change of pace compared to the week that's been down there. Then on the east side, it'll also be nice to finally get some dry weather after almost 2 weeks straight of rain and snow. Thankfully, the winds have backed off on the east side as opposed to yesterday. That's really going to be the big story today. And then up in the mountains, we'll continue to add to the snowpack, although not nearly at the clip and at the rate that we did earlier this week, but always good to see some more snow, especially this late in the season. And then for the Rogue Valley, drying out in a hurry as we get into Saturday, and then warming up in a hurry as we get into Sunday.